X-Force number 3. Man, this is the best book in the Dawn of X line. Nothing else even comes close. This is fantastic. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Longbox Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the Longbox. X-Force number 3. It's a comic we're going to talk about, written by Benjamin Percy, Josh Cassar doing the art, Guru FX doing the colors. This book is fantastic. The best book of the Dawn of X line right now. It beats all of the books by far. Fallen Angels is number 2, X-Men is number 3, Marauders tied with number 3 for me. I know everybody's like, Marauders is wonderful. I don't know, but X-Force is definitely wonderful, the best, and I think we all so far have agreed on that. X-Force is the book that everybody should be reading. And this one left off last week with Kid Omega and Wolverine going into that human warehouse where they're bioengineering and 3D printing human warriors to attack the mutants. And spoilers, if you have not read X-Force number 2, you need to stop this video now. We'll wait. Alright, if you're here still, you're okay with the spoilers. They had Domino in a tank, and they were using her to patch onto their warriors to fool Krokoa's defenses and Black Tom Cassidy and etc. Crazy stuff. So we open up in the past with Domino, and you see these panels, and they are cutting pieces off of her, and you can see her eye, and you can see her screaming. The guy's talking, and you can see actually he's peeling the skin. Gross but crazy. And then it shows the whole group with their purge mask on, standing in front of their tube saying, "This will help us pick the lock of evolution." So their goal is to basically evolve themselves, but not get the X gene. Okay, so we get back to now. Kid Omega and Wolverine are killing all these things, and Kid Omega is like, again, with this whole human society is protozoic slime, and the Wolverine's like, no, I don't agree with that. But he's like, look what they've done. Yeah, you're smart, kid, but that doesn't mean you know everything. He goes, well, aren't you mad? Yeah, I'm mad. And they knock the glass, and they get Domino out, and she is just like, her whole face, her eye is missing. She is messed up, and Wolverine's like pissed, right? So he picks him up, and they get ready to walk out, and then boom, through the roof comes this gigantic, just crazy no skin flesh monstrosity thing coming after Kid Omega and Wolverine, and it's crazy. And then we go back into Krokoa, and we get the conversation between Jean and Beast about how does living, not worrying about dying affect you. Have we become reckless now? Have we become so self-assured that that we don't have a healthy fear of death? And she's like, well, I don't believe that at all. I believe that because we have no fear of death, we have the ability to be a better hero. Okay, because if there's no fear of death, then they can just rush in and do the things they need to do. I don't think that's true. I think a healthy fear is what helps you become a really good hero. But so what I'm saying, and that's what she says, what I'm saying is, without death, life is less about me and more about us, the long game of mutant kind. That's the dream of Krokoa. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but it is what Jean's saying, is that, hey, if we don't fear death, we can be better heroes, because we're not thinking about us, we're thinking about me dying, we're thinking about us. Okay. So we're back into the warehouse, and this big monstrosity thing is chasing Kid Omega and Wolverine. Wolverine's carrying Domino, and they're rushing out, and she's like, oh, Logan. And she goes, power inhibitor. And he goes, oh. And he's like, the kid's like, Kid Omega's like, I can't do anything. There's a stupid dampener. I can't do nothing. I have no powers right now. And Wolverine's like, I think, and he snaps the lock on the inhibitor, and it falls off. He goes, I think Your luck's about to change. And suddenly, boom, the inhibitor fails. He gets a psychic missile launcher, right? And he blows the thing up. That was pretty cool. I'd like to see the special use of Domino's powers. Wolverine, being the leader of this, of course, a small group, but he's still kind of leading and making the decisions. Kid Omega is just a powerhouse, but crazy, right? So we get back over to Krokoa, and we're at the island, and basically Sage and the healer are talking. I can't do any more for this dude, but we need to, because he's got the questions, right? We got questions. He has answers, and if he dies, then we have no answers. And then you see him, the dude laying there, that 3D printed warrior human dude. And then you see this huge, gigantic hand come down onto his mouth and nose, and basically you see this huge body, but it's hidden slightly behind a tree branch, a root, and you can't tell who it is. But basically, they suffocate this dude. Now, I don't know who it is. Personally, I'm thinking it's Black Tom Cassidy, because he's feeling so guilty about what happened. And that, what he says later to Professor X about protecting the island. He feels like he failed, and it's his job to protect the island, and if they won't do it, then he will step up and do what he has to do to protect the island. Now he's talking to Magneto. I'll do what I have to do to protect the island. And so I think this was him taking care of that problem. And we flip the page, and we literally are now talking, and Black Tom Cassidy goes, "Up to me, I sent a swarm of vines out to strangle a lot of them, maybe stab them with sticks in their eyes, but I'm guessing you prefer your fancy words. So you better do something, Magneto, before Black Tom Cassidy does." So my opinion is that was him that strangled the dude and suffocated him, because he's, in his mind, he's protecting the island. But it could be another spy on the island. Could be somebody else that was part of the team. They escaped notice. Could be anything. So I'm not exactly sure what that is yet. But we see a lot of people are gathered in front of the gate in Washington Park in Manhattan. And Magneto walks through the gate and he goes, everybody, hey, and then Xavier comes through the gate. And he goes, and I can speak for myself. Now, that's what happened back with Jean Grey and Beast. They were able to res, Professor X came back out, and they were able to use the helmet to bring back his consciousness, and etc., right? And basically, he has now presented himself. So is the rumors true that he was assassinated? No, he's right here. There he is. Everything's fine. Whatever they tried to, the rumors are overinflated. Nothing, everything's fine. I will always be here, so you don't have to worry about it. And there's a little excerpt here about the sword. So when Magneto, when the first helmet was destroyed, he formed it into a sword, and he gave that sword to Professor X. Professor X apparently is keeping it above its bed as a reminder that, things can go bad, and things have gone bad. And so we flip back and to the warehouse. Kid Omega is able to give Domino back the arm and the leg that were damaged through telekinesis. And she's like, hey, I was sent there to spy on them, but everything's scrambled. I can't really think about it right now. But there's some, they're big business, they're money men, they're politicians. But the one I can really remember is the guy with the peacock tattoo. And so he goes, let's get your head, and Wolverine's like, let's get you back. But let's go back inside and see if we can figure out how do we get and do a deep clean and figure if we can find anything about this group. And she goes, I don't think that's a good idea. Boom! She goes, lucky guess, right? Her power again. Probabilities, right? So we're back, and they're not in the normal council chambers. They're actually at the point. So they're underneath a waterfall. They're hidden. And what they believe is they're hidden because they don't want anybody to hear what they're talking about. Basically they're saying, we can't deny what happened. These guys came, they attacked us. We now have to do something about it. So basically Professor X says we have to respond in kind. And it kind of come down to this. We got this whole Theodore Roosevelt, speak softly, carry a big stick mentality that's coming on. And he says here, the left hand turns the page, the right hand makes a fist. This feels right to me. that feels like a force of good. So they've got to protect themselves. So they've got to do something to counteract what the humans are doing, especially this Purge Mass group. So they have to do something for that. So he's basically saying, to me, my X-Force. So this is the time to do that. Now on the flip side, we get these bubbles where the peacock mask guy is saying things. He goes, hey, Xavier's back, already pursues, he pursues us. Now, how did he know already? They're having the meeting. So I don't know if there's a time frame difference here, or he's got a spy and that guy that suffocated the dude is the spy. I don't know. But they're going to funnel money into xenophobic gangs, into churches, into think tanks, and anybody that can build an army to go against what the mutants stand for. So they wanted to create disruption, all that kind of stuff. They want to make mutants look bad. They want to use mutants for experiments to figure out how to unlock the keys to evolution and evolve themselves. So they have, he goes, every country has shadow agencies like Weapon X, etc. So he goes, Xavier made certain that every one of us was to fund it. Every one of those were to fund it and disband it. So all these special things, he goes, they're all gone. But maybe we can tap into that and bring them in. But he says on the last page, and you see his peacock tattoo, he says, but just as the mutants have come together in Krokoa, the shadows have gathered here. And where shadows gather, there is darkness. And we are one, we are many, and we are Xeno. And so that is a cool final page. And so, man, next week, or actually December 18th, next week, X-Force number 4 comes out. And I believe we see the actual start of the X-Force CIA movement thing. And the team is going to be kicking in and kicking butt, and this is going to be fantastic. This is, again, the best read of Dawn of X. The best book, by far. If you're not getting this, you really should. It's fantastic. The art is great. It's dark and gritty, which is what you kind of need in this X-Force. I like the way I like the way Wolverine is talking. I like the way Kid Omega acts. And Domino really feels like Domino. But, Jean Grey's acting a little weird, and I don't like the whole living thing. I guess they're kind of trying to justify why they have resurrection and why it's a good idea, though it feels like all the stakes are removed. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, fantastic. It's been good. And I kind of wish Xavier stayed dead a little bit longer. That would have been interesting. But we'll see. We'll see what's happening. Right now, 3 issues in, it's proven its worth to me, so I kind of give it a little trust. Where New Mutants, no trust at all. Gone. So I enjoy this. Definitely recommend. If you're not getting it, you need to get it. And if you like this review, please like and subscribe. And join us next time here in the Long Box.